Hi, I'm Elizabeth with Cultivate, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to write a great business profile today. It's important because we're going to use this new digital profile everywhere you appear online. This messaging is going to consistently inform your potential customers and Google about your business, your products, or your services. This profile is going to actually become your new digital identity. The more you use this messaging consistently, the more significant your online presence will become. When you're satisfied with your new business profile, you should use it everywhere online, on your website, in your Google Business Profile, your social media, and all of your directory listings. When somebody has a question or problem, it's most likely they're going to turn to Google for an answer. For most businesses, both small and large, it's imperative to create a strong online digital presence. To sell your products, you must, first of all, appear in a Google search. When somebody then clicks to your website, you have less than 7 seconds to convince them that you can solve their problem and to take a closer look at how you'll do that. By using effective, consistent marketing messages, you'll be able to accomplish that goal and capture their attention. We found also that many businesses don't have a way to consistently attract new online customers. By creating this consistent digital image, you will amplify your message and enhance your online presence. Today, we're going to use the spreadsheet that's on the screen to walk through the different steps of how to create a great business profile. If you've not yet downloaded this, you can go to cultivateworks.org/profile2023 and make a copy of this template. If you have multiple businesses, you need to isolate each of these businesses and use one worksheet per business. So go ahead and do that and we'll jump right in. Let's take a closer look at how you can create a well-crafted, well-thought-out, compelling business profile for your company. First, we're going to create a unique value proposition. I'm also going to refer to this as a UVP. This is a foundational statement for your digital marketing. Your UVP should inform your customers about what you do and sell, and why the customer should buy this service from you. You want to take a few minutes and brainstorm ideas and use your template to write down your answers. Just do some free-form thinking and get something down on the paper. Don't worry about writing complete sentences. Just get your ideas down on paper. Well, let's start right in and answer this first question. Write down a few ideas about what your business provides and what products or services you sell. This is a broad stroke statement. Instead of listing individual products, you want to list the big picture. For instance, a pet store wouldn't list dogs, cats, and hamsters, but rather pets. And a handyman service wouldn't list individual repairs like leaky faucet repairs or chip tile replacement, painting, things like that. They would call it handyman services. If you need additional time to write and think between each question, just pause this video and resume when you're ready to go to the next question. Let's consider why your customers would buy your products and services. That's our next writing area. How does your product uniquely benefit your customers? What problems are you solving for your customer? Can you identify what their pain point is? Let your customer know that you understand their problem. You need to consider, what do they want your product or service to do for them? Not remove wrinkles per se, but your customers want to renew their confidence or rejuvenate their youth. You might be selling a good book, but it's much more enticing if you're helping your reader escape for an hour or two. And moving to the last part of the unique value proposition, we're going to discuss who is your primary or ideal customers and what kind of common characteristics do they share. You can see that these examples actually not only list the business, but also a descriptor that hones in on exactly who their target audience is. Now we're going to build this unique value proposition from all the ideas you've listed above. We need to make sure that this statement is very succinct because it's the beginning of your business description, so it's more of an overview. This statement is going to explain what you offer and why customers should buy it from you. Your customers are trying to decide if you are a good fit for what they're looking for. So use your ideas above, and we'll use this formula to help you get started. We help X to Y by Z. So to begin this, we're going to write down, we're going to fill in what is your business name. Helps. Then you're going to list your primary customer, to or with, benefits to your customer by what your business does. You may need to tweak some of these connecting words to suit your business and your services. But this is the area where you're going to be able to really hone in on what that broad stroke of your business does. Once you're finished with this section, go on to the services overview. You might have felt pretty constrained when you were writing that unique value proposition. It has to be so compelling and succinct that it's hard to get a lot of detail there. Well, the services overview is where you'll actually do that. This is where you can expand and use rich descriptive content. So again, refer to the ideas you've written above and your UVP, and you can even use the format of writing a sentence about each one of those blanks that you filled in if that fits your service or business. But here you want to add more details to help your customers determine if they need your offer. Use clear and compelling language and communicate how your company uniquely solves their problem. You want to also use rich descriptive words, things like quaint or robust, picturesque, sustainable, durable. Choose each word carefully, and once you believe you've written a strong overview and a unique proposition, I would suggest that you walk away from your writing to gain a little perspective. When you return, reread what you've written, edit it, and if there's any kind of word substitutes you can use to be more exact or more defining, this is a great time to do it. Often walking away will help you gain that perspective you need to see it with a clear eye. The next section we're going to identify are your service bullets. Here you want to list 3 to 6 of the primary services that you provide. In your descriptions, you want to actually use 2 or 3 words to describe this service. As you can see, this example is used from a vacation lodging place. And here, instead of just saying cabin, vacation house, they added some definite descriptive words to let you know what kind of services they actually provide, to show you what they have to offer, and you can make the determination as a customer, is this what I'm looking for? Moving on to the About section, this is where you tell your business story. You can include how you got started. You can give some background experience if that strengthens your credibility. You can profile your typical client. Maybe you want to list your business philosophy or highlight your team and your customer service. This is where you want to list your features and amenities and anything that distinguishes you from the competition. Your About section should enhance your credibility and interest in your company rather than distract from it. We're almost finished with your business profile. There's just one more section that we need to use to conclude it, and that is the call to action. So we want to finish this profile very strongly. So consider what you want your customer to do next. So you develop a really clear and strong call to action that leaves your customer with no doubt what they need to do next to engage with your company. What's the first action you want your customer to take? This shouldn't be complicated, but really simple and direct. Again, when you've finished writing all these different sections of your business profile, go ahead and take some time and give it some space, and then later go back and take a look at what you've written, assess if it's really what you wanted to say and that it strongly defines your company. Edit it as you see fit, and you'll have your business profile ready to go. I did want to give you a couple of tips about images and logos that you upload online. I'm sure all of you have seen some bad examples out there. The images aren't clear and crisp, but rather they're fuzzy, and that really distracts from your credibility. So even visually, you need to look sharp and attentive to detail. On your logos and photo files, you want to also give them meaningful names that correspond with the subject matter that they are of. Your logo shouldn't be named something generic like this, logo.png. Instead, it should have a name like this example. Put your company name -logo-png. That identifies it with your company. In your file names, you always want to use a lowercase, and instead of spaces between words, you'd use hyphens. Your logo should be a PNG file with a transparent background, and your images should be JPEGs that are approximately 1,000 to 2,000 pixels in size. You're going to want to use these logos and photos in all of your directory listings like Yelp and Apple Maps. You also want to use them on your website, in your Google Business Profile, and all of your social media blogs and posts. Now we're going to take a look at creating a business service description that you can use in your Google Business Profile or your website. So first of all, you need to identify 5 or really up to 10 different services or plans or products or properties that you own and are selling. Each service needs to be its own separate worksheet, so feel free to duplicate this worksheet as often as you need. You don't want to use a service and describe 2 or 3 of them together. You want to isolate them and give the features and benefits that only pertain to that particular service. Ideally, this content then could be used as a landing page on your website, as well as I had mentioned before, that service description in your Google Business Profile and on your social media platforms. So to begin with, we're going to choose your top service and we're going to give it a name. For the example today, I'm going to use a cleaning service that offers both residential cleaning and also commercial cleaning. So as you can see, commercial cleaning is a different service than residential cleaning. It would have its own unique features and benefits. So for this example, let's assume this is going to be for commercial cleaning. So we're going to write a 2 to 3 phrase service name here instead of a single word. So instead of cabin, for instance, we're calling it Cozy Cove Cabin, giving it a nice name. Next, we're going to work on the description of this service. So what you want to do first is go up and copy and paste your unique value proposition that you created earlier into this space. Then you're going to tweak it a bit so that it actually fits this service. If it requires massive tweaking, then you may need to adjust your unique value proposition, because this UVP has got to describe all of your services. It's got to be the big umbrella that everything fits under. So once you've edited your UVP, you want to add some specific details about this single service you're describing. Next, we're going to list the top 3 benefits of this service. The benefit is why a customer wants to buy this product or service from you. So you should write 3 complete sentences for a benefit, 1 sentence per benefit or more. Then we're going to talk about the features or amenities of the service. And here we're going to describe an attribute or a characteristic of this product or service. You can list your features as bullets. And finally, we're going to follow it up again with the call to action. You can cut and paste your call to action from the above business description and paste it here. You want to tell your customer how to engage with their business and purchase this particular service. Again, if this call to action is not the same for this service, you may want to consider coming up with a more generic or bigger call to action. You want your call to action to be the same for all your services and your business description. And once you complete all of these steps, you'll have your first service description ready for placement. And remember, you can duplicate this worksheet as often as you need to accommodate all the services you're going to list. So there you have it. You have written a wonderful business description and really effective service descriptions, and you are way ahead of where you were when we started. So just a few parting words with how you can actually use these new descriptions. Once you're satisfied with this new content you've created, you can apply it to all your digital marketing. So for on your website, you should use that concise, unique value proposition as well as your call to action right on your homepage. Remember, you have such a limited time to convince your customer that you have the solution to their problem. They need to see this information immediately when they arrive on your website. The service descriptions we just discussed can be building blocks for your new landing pages on your website. Add a few photos and you have a completely new web page and new content to add to your site. Google loves to see this. They love to see that you're continually updating and keeping your website healthy and relevant. In social media, you can use the same content in your posts and on your blogs. You can edit the content to fit the platform. Use this service overview in your directory listings. Some may have some character limits, so start with a file of each edited version you create. Be sure to start with your unique value proposition, add as much as you can from your service overview, and then depending on your character limitations, finish it with your call to action. There's also Google Business Profile. You will need to do some editing there. You need to take the service overview and edit it down to 750 characters. So you'd start with your unique value proposition, your edited version of your services overview, and then follow it up with your call to action. You can list your services also in your Google Business Profile and use all those service descriptions you just wrote. With these recommendations, this should help you develop a very effective business profile for your company, as well as your service descriptions. Your new digital identity consistently informs your customer and Google about who you are and why they should buy what you're selling. And the consistent use of this new, well-crafted content will boost your SEO and help you attract more customers. Good luck with the rest of your writing. I look forward to seeing these new business profiles online soon. Thank you.